So it's been just over a month now since I was taken off the combined pill and put onto the mini pill. And it's about 3 months since I started to notice my menopause symptoms were dissipating. And for the last month and a half, could be longer, I've lost track of time, I have no symptoms at all. I get the very occasional hot flash, but it's summer, we have really hot temperatures. We've been hitting 32 degrees, we have cold days, we have warm days, and it could be to do with that. So I'm not going to think about that until we're in cold season and it still happens. And since I've been on the mini pill, nothing has happened. Now, the practice nurse said it could take a couple of months for my body to adjust and go back to normal. I've been waiting for things to go horribly wrong because I'm not on that pill now, which suppresses some of those symptoms. And I'm now on the mini pill, which doesn't do any of that, but nothing's happened. So I'm carrying on as normal. I'm trying to be better with my diet. I've cut out a lot of snacking. I've cut out a lot of the processed stuff that I find so hard to resist. So for the last couple of weeks, since I got back home, I've been away. I've been really well behaved in that respect. I feel like the range of supplements that I'm taking is helping to even things out. I started taking supplements last October, so it hasn't been that long. I take magnesium, vitamin D, vitamin B12, and I feel ready for the next stage. What's the next thing that I need to think about? The thing that I really want to think about is collagen. I've noticed that my ankles get sore. That's about it, but my ankles never used to hurt, and collagen is a thing for definite, and I've been looking at ways to improve that. So in terms of my diet isn't that bad. I do eat the things that help produce collagen. So you've got your fatty fish, you've got your leafy greens. I'm not really good at eating citrus fruits, to be honest with you. I'm not really a citrus fruit fan. There are a few things that I eat regularly, but it's probably not enough for what I now need, which is an increased production. So what I've done instead is I've looked at other ways that I can promote that. Now, you can buy the collagen powders, you can buy the gummies, but they're so expensive. I do not have the money for that, particularly for how much you get for the money and how often you may need to keep on doing this. So I want to look at a more holistic approach, which is to eat the things that I need to promote that naturally, and also boost it using other supplements. So the best thing that helps with the production of collagen in your body is vitamin C. And I probably don't have enough vitamin C in my diet. So I was looking at the best ways to do that. I could do it in tablet form, or you can get soluble ones. Now, vitamin C is a soluble vitamin. That means that when you ingest it, it comes straight out again when you go to the toilet. So when you wee, it comes out there. And that means that it isn't retained in the body in the same way as other supplements are. So I had a look at different ways of taking vitamin C because they said little and often is best. So what I've gone for a soluble one, which looks like this. This is a Sainsbury one. You get 20 soluble tablets that you stick in water. You just have one a day. It is up to the maximum that's recommended, so it's 1,000 milligrams. And what I'm doing is I've got a spare water bottle, and I filled that with water because I try and drink 2 to 3 of these every day to stay hydrated. So I've got my regular water bottle, which is this one. And this one, every day, I'm going to fill up and put 1 tablet in. And they say little and often, so I can just sip this throughout the day, and that means that vitamin C is going in small but regular amounts, just a sip. and it tastes orangey. It's nice. I don't have a problem with it. So, and these are really cheap. These are about £1.50 and there's 20 in there. So that's what, £3 a month. So I'm going to give that a go. Hopefully that will help me manufacture the missing collagen. I probably should have started this years ago, because that starts to happen quite a while ago for my age. But anyway, here I am. The other thing was, people were talking about, oh, you shouldn't just drink water, you need your electrolytes. I was like, oh God, that's another gimmick that they get you to pay for in a shop. You can buy like smart water and all that sort of thing. But I had a look, and you can DIY your electrolytes in water by putting 1/4 teaspoon of salt in a litre of water. So that's what I'm doing. I have some like proper chunk sea salt that I've had in a packet for a long time in the cupboard. I don't know why I had it. So I'm just putting a couple of crystals of that. They're only small crystals, into each bottle of water that I drink. And actually, it's really nice. It makes the water a bit softer. I like the taste of it. It doesn't taste salty, but it doesn't taste hard like tap water does. So I quite like that. So I'm having 2 of those with a couple of crystals of salt in them. So I've got my electrolytes, I've got my vitamin C in my other one. It's like, what else do I add to the list? That pretty much does it. So that's my new update. We have electrolytes, and now we have vitamin C. And the vitamin C I will be buying on Nectar Points, as I do all my supplements, because these things are too expensive. Prices are still going up. Price of milk's gone up to £2.40 for 6 pints now. It was £2.35 when I used to go before I went away. So price is still going up. Keep using those points, and that is my update on what's going on with my menopause story. I keep waiting for the clanger to drop and suddenly all my symptoms to start returning. I still get a little bit of brain fog, but it's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. And if I can just deal with the achy ankles, I'm good to go. Apart from that, I feel pretty much back to normal. My energy levels still aren't great. They're much better than they were. So I get low level tiredness now, but it's not continuous. So for instance, last Thursday I went on a hike. I did a 3-hour hike. I came back, and instead of doing what I'd normally do, which is like just completely crashing out and unable to move, I had a shower, I put some washing on, and then I went and did some crafting in the afternoon before dinner. And it just feels so much better. And unfortunately, all the weight that I've put on throughout the course of the perimenopause isn't helping my energy levels or my lack of fitness levels, which is probably why I'm struggling with my fitness at the moment and being tired after exercise, because I'm carrying around so much more weight than I was 4 years ago. But whether it's an indicator or not, I weighed myself when I got back from being away at my parents' for 3 weeks, which generally I put on weight because their food is better, it's different. My eating pattern changes, and I lost 1/4 pound while I was away. Now that hasn't happened in years. So I don't know, I'm hoping, fingers crossed massively, that now that my hormones seem to be changing and I'm having less symptoms, that maybe some of that weight will come off. And I'm thinking that because I have a bit more energy for exercise, and I've noticed that my appetite has changed. I'm not snacking as much. I'm sticking to just my meals, and that will help. And if my energy levels are slightly better, and as the temperatures start to drop, I can start going back onto the treadmill. It's been too hot to use the treadmill for most of the summer. It's just been unbelievably hot, and these flats retain the heat when you don't want it to, like when it's hot, not in the winter when you want it to. So I've not been out hiking as much either, because it's either been too hot or it's been torrential downpours. It seems to be one extreme or another. Or the days that were perfect, I've just been working, so I've been too busy. So that's that. I'm hoping that 1/4 pound is symbolic of another change that's going to happen naturally. I feel less bunged up. By that I mean I feel less stodgy. I feel a bit more mobile. I feel fitter. I feel like some of that weight that's on my kind of lower stomach area, which I never used to have, seems to be dissipating a bit, and I've got back into walking around holding in my abdominal muscles. I used to do it a lot. If you can do that when you're just walking around and train your muscles to hold in, they will then tighten up naturally. And I've been doing that, and I feel that I look a little bit less stodgy than I did a month or two ago. Probably a couple of months. I've noticed it gradually changing. So I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. I don't know if that's connected or whether that's just in my mind. I will keep monitoring that one and we'll see where we end up. But that's my little update. I don't really have anything else to add at the moment. Apart from that, it's been quite quiet. The only headache I've had in recent weeks was triggered by me drinking beer. Beer never used to be a problem for me. Beer and lager, no problem at all. It was one thing I could drink and it didn't make me drunk, but I had a couple of beers at a friend's. We went to watch I went round to theirs to watch the women's final, and I had a headache badly for the next 2 days. So alcohol is still a bit of a trigger. I need to be careful with that. On a plus note, I seem to be fine with gin and Pimm's, but wine and beer I'm not. So I guess it's to do with metabolism. Could be a one-off, who knows? Who knows? Anyway, so that's my update. I'm going to go off and make lunch now, and I hope you found that interesting. Any comments on any of that? Any questions? Just drop me a line on the comments, and let's get that conversation going again. Thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.